You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
When I first started Kempire Radio 15 plus years ago, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. 15 years later, now artificial intelligence has taken over and it's making your website building so easy. I'm excited to partner with Wix for today's live because Wix was the very first website that I ever used. And even back then, they made it easy. So you can imagine 15 years ago versus 2026, Wix is making it even easier with AI. So there are a couple of really cool things that you can do with Wix. With the hybrid website editor that offers the speed of AI, precision of drag and drop, and guidance of a dedicated AI agent, aka the new way to create websites. And you don't have to pay anyone to do this. You could do this yourself. Create in whatever way feels most natural to you with a platform that lets you flow freely between AI and manual controls. Because some people just let AI do whatever they want, and that is not what you want. You want to be able to do and create something that's unique to you. As I said to you before, you can launch a pro-grade website that's quality, but make it very easy for you to create. There are all kinds of really cool capabilities that they provide. Wix Harmony is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents built specifically for small businesses. Generate images, product descriptions, blogs, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. You even get an AI agent named Aria who can help you build your website or take care of business. Wix has been on top of AI for years, so naturally, they're the ones introducing the new way to create websites. Try Wix Harmony for free at wix.com/harmony. That's wix.com/harmony. More details on that will be available in the description. And hey y'all, can you guys let me know if you can hear me, see me, all the good things? I'm not in the studio because I was like, I want to be comfortable. I've been in the studio all day. We had our live earlier today, and we talked about a bunch of hot topics and a bunch of different shows. So if you missed it, be sure to check it out. And make sure you guys can hear me. Hold on, wait a minute. Just let me know if you guys can hear me, see me, and all that good stuff. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. This is a very different live than we normally do, but we have done these quite a few times over the last couple of years now. Dating lives. You guys have been asking for the dating lives to return, and we did one a couple of months ago, last year, and it was very good. There was one particular one that we did that was 5 hours. I'm not aiming for 5 hours, but let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. But Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Today is technically Galentine's Day, where you celebrate, the single folks celebrate the Valentine's Day holiday. I've never been big on Valentine's Day. I don't know if you guys have been. Does everyone in the chat have a Valentine? Do you do something special for your children for Valentine's Day? Let me know. I want to know. I want to know your traditions and things like that as well. I've already dropped the call-in link for members, but live chat, I will drop the call-in link for you guys as well. Ms. Parker says, the marathon live. I remember it fondly. I don't remember it fondly, but it was a good time. It just was very long. It was like 5 hours. You can still watch it here on YouTube, but you can also hear it on the Kempire podcast, just in case you want something to listen to. I don't even know. You would have to Google schmoogle it to find it, but it's definitely a part of the podcast. 5 hours. 5 hours of just talking about relationships, dating, advice, all of that. So that is the plan. That is the plan this evening. So if you have a dating story, dating question, Valentine's Day story or question, feel free to call in. This show is about you guys. I've been talking all week, all day. This is not about me talking. It's about me listening and not judging. You know, that's one of our rules here. We listen and we don't judge, at least not out loud, okay? We listen and we don't judge, right? Right. This is a safe space. I want everyone to be respectful of everyone telling their story. So keep that in mind. Our mods are going to hold us down. Shout out to our mods in the chat. We appreciate them being here. They're always here holding us down. So thank you. Thank you, Foxy. We have any other mods in the chat? We might have to add some more mods, Foxy. I feel like some of our other mods have fallen off. What's happened? What's happened? Everything can't fall on poor Foxy. Foxy's in a whole other time zone. Lord have mercy. She's always here. So shout out to Foxy. Everyone send some love to Foxy. She recently lost her mom, so she needs all the love in the chat, okay? All right. Make her job easy as well, right? Right. I do want to say thank you. Indica Kush became a member of the channel. We appreciate you. Caroline, I know Caroline's not a new member. Caroline says she was a member for 42 months. One time for Carolyn. Not a new member, just a new card. They fixed it though, Carolyn, because you're able to, it shows your original anniversary. Michelle, thank you so much for becoming a member. Yes, guys, that's one of the ways for you to support the channel as well, but also patronizing our sponsors. So be sure to check out the details in the description for our sponsors. And don't forget, we have a live show happening literally a month from today here in New York City. Ticket information is available in the description. And don't forget, we also have the live stream option for you as well. So if you can't come to New York, that is an option. Okay. All right. We are only live on YouTube and the Kempire on Facebook. So shout out to those of you that are watching us on Facebook. Make sure for those that are not watching us on Facebook and watching on YouTube, make sure you're following our fan page on Facebook, The Kempire, and my other fan page, Kempire Daily. Okay. All right. Now that we've gotten the admin stuff out of the way, I want to first start this off by sharing a video with you guys that I got. Literally, I saw this right before the live, a couple of hours ago. And I said, oh, this is a perfect segue into our conversation about love, relationships, because today's Friday the 13th, and we've grown up, and this is what I was also saying earlier, was that there's a lot of positive that we can get from the negative that's happening in the world today if we look for it. And at some particular point in our history, we made Friday the 13th something demonic, evil, bad luck. And I saw this video today and I said, oh, I have to share this with our lovers that are watching this. And shout out to the replay crew. I know some of you probably out enjoying your Friday night, which is fine. And you have us playing in the background of your Saturday. We appreciate that. Or maybe this is what you're going to watch on Valentine's Day when you're at home, chilling and pouring into yourself. That's what I said earlier. Make Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine or your Valentine's not near you, make it about self-care, self-love. Go get your mani-pedi tomorrow. Go do something for yourself. Go get a massage for yourself. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. Be Ready says, it's not, oh snap, it is Friday the 13th. But let me play this video for you because it's going to change your mind on Friday the 13th a little bit. Maybe it won't, but it did for me. Okay, so I'm going to play this for you.
So Friday is ruled by Venus, and Venus, as we know, is all things love.
13th used to be sacred to the divine feminine.
Before superstition got involved, this was the day of magic, of fertility, of good fortune.
It was also a very powerful day to manifest, for creativity and wisdom.
And then somewhere along the way, someone decided that the divine feminine was dangerous, and we made it a superstitious day.
You've probably seen horror films like Friday the 13th, which I think has had an effect on people to think that this day is just not a very lucky day, when the truth is, it actually is. And it's the most important day to manifest and actually call in good luck.
So if you are feeling superstitious and you want some protection, look at the humble rosemary plant. Very strong and powerful. It was used for protection. It was hung in doorways to keep out unwanted energy.
It was used for memory or mental clarity. People often put it in their ear when they were studying, or they would even put it in water and drink it, which really helps you to focus and stay balanced.
It's a really easy plant to get to know because loads of people have it in their gardens. Witches used to have it at the bottom of their gardens, and they'd put a sprig behind their ear as they left the house. So instead of fearing Friday the 13th, let's reclaim it as a day of feminine power. And if you have a bit of rosemary, you can just touch that and think it's for clarity and power, not being scared.
Hold on. Yeah, I love that. I was like, I didn't know about Friday the 13th. Let me just read some of the comments that I saw as well. Karen, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate your support. And if you're a member, I've already dropped the call link for those that want to call in, ask a question, share a story in regards to dating, love, things like that. Okay. Paula says, my 15-year-old got a Valentine's date. So happy for him. You allow him to date at 15? That's a question. I don't know. Do you? I know some parents do. Some parents don't. But congratulations to him. Paula, what you doing for Valentine's Day? Oh, you're here with us. Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Bree says, I love that. My man is on the road, so I'm going to pour into myself tomorrow and enjoy some me time and love on myself. Thank you, Ken. Yes. Let us know how that goes and what you decide to end up doing. Nikki says, my son was born on Friday, March 13th. So he literally will be celebrating his birthday during our live show. Okay. I love it, Nikki. I love it. Literally a month from today, we have another Friday the 13th, and there's an eclipse. On the 17th, I think they said, the 17th there's an eclipse. Mm-hmm. Nota Queen said, you'd hate to see what I was doing at 15. I don't know. I mean, if you want to call in and share, okay. Your girl Pepe's, I'll see you in New York City. I'll see you in New York City for the live show. All right. So one of the other stories, literally, guys, before I went live, I posted a video about Candy and Todd. So we could talk about that as well, because I feel like it still has something to do with relationships. And I can only imagine what Candy might be feeling like, or anyone, even Todd. Look, I'm not choosing sides here because I'm not one of their friends or children, okay? But it makes me wonder, people going through divorces right now, Valentine's Day. For some people, Valentine's Day is a big deal. Some relationships make it a big deal. So I can only imagine, and I think this is why Candy really threw herself into her work, especially as a Taurus. She probably is grateful to be working right now, especially Saturday. She'll be on Broadway because she doesn't have to think about Valentine's Day and maybe the Valentine's Days they've had together. You have to remember, these two have been together a long time. No matter how people are saying, look, Mama Joyce was right. But regardless of that, they have 2 children, okay? And they've had years of marriage at this particular point. They've intertwined their families. There's a lot of memories. There's probably a lot of Valentine's Day memories. Danny says, Team Taurus, always. Duh. Duh. Lainey says, hey, Lainey. Lainey says, was feeling down because my chronic illness kept me from joining friends for Galentine's. Oh, I'm sorry. Get together, but this live already is uplifting my spirits. Thank you so much, Kempire. I appreciate you. Oh, Lainey, I hope you feel better. Everything happens for a reason, though. Maybe it was time for you to maybe just someone's story, or just feeling better now, listening to this will be worth it. Okay. All right. So I did drop the call link for our members. I do have a couple of members that are backstage, but I also know some of you might want to call in, but might be on the fence because maybe you're fearful of being vulnerable. But this is a safe space. We will not be judging. Okay. We will not be judging. Everyone in the chat, please also be mindful as well that, we want to be respectful, that people are coming up, sharing their stories, sharing their lives. And if they run long, let them speak. I will be the one to cut them off. I don't want you guys to be like, oh my God, okay, enough already. Because then you're going to get blocked. Let me see what Flip Virgo says. I was born on Friday the 13th is a powerful and lucky number for me. See? There was another comment that I wanted to highlight and I missed it. Where did it go? Wait, it was Nota Queen. Where did Nota? Oh, Nota Queen says, I might call in and tell my ex's business. I'm here for it because maybe we can learn something from your ex. All right. Let's get to the callers because as I said to you guys before, this live is not about me. It's about you guys. So if no one calls in, well, we have people calling in. But once we are done with the callers, then I'm going to end the live. It could be a short live. It could be a long live. We shall see. Izzy says, I manifested my husband. What in the Amanda? Izzy, can you call in and tell us how you manifested your husband? I'd like to hear that story. Anyone else? Okay. Mashby, I'm purposely only live on YouTube and Facebook. Sometimes, yeah, that's why I tell you, you gotta be following me everywhere. Okay. She said she manifested her husband, and she reminded me of Amanda. Be Ready says, a whole husband? Yes, please. If you want to call in, Izzy. I'd like to hear that story. I want to manifest the husband, a rich one. All right, let's get to our first caller. Sharice is backstage. So, Sharice, do you want to come on camera? Because that is typically the rule, but you don't have to. Okay, it's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm going to bring you up, Sharice. Hold on, Sharice. Let me move this. There we go. Sharice, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. No, thank you for the camera, please. I'm sorry.
That's
I won't
okay.
be here long.
Okay. What's going on?
Hi, long
Sharice, where
time
are you
no
calling from?
speak. I'm calling from the DMV, the Maryland side. Maryland, born and raised.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
What part of Maryland?
Waldorf. They say it's not part of the DMV, but it is.
Oh.
I don't want to argue about that. We're not here for that today. Okay. And it's in Charles County, Maryland, which is the richest Black county in Maryland. We surpassed PG. Born and raised here. So anyway, well, we're not here for that today.
No. What are we here
Kempire,
for?
I just called to tell you. I know this is not about you, but I just called to tell you. I saw you and Chris on my TV the other day, and I think y'all look cute together or whatever. That's all. I mean, that's a nice looking man, and he tall, and all the things you say you want, he right there. Okay, all right, that's all.
Is that why you called in?
That's it. I wanted to tell you that. I was going to put it in the chat, but then the chat moves so fast. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Sharice, for calling in.
Bye.
Bye. Y'all are a mess. Okay. And like, wait, does he have T-Mobile afros? No, I'm here. I really thought she was calling in here to tell us a story. Really? All right. Jocelyn, who's called in before, is backstage. We're going to bring Jocelyn up next. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I know. Look, my birthday's in 10 days. Okay. Counting down.
Starting soon.
Oh, wait, it's the 24th. It's 11 days. I can't count. Yes. So I wanted to come on here and give you an update, which I did I've updated you, but I didn't get to tell you why. So as you recall, I was talking to the Leo guy.
Yes.
So some people may remember the story.
You can do a brief overview for those that are probably new to the channel. Just a brief update on what we talked about before.
Okay. So I met a guy online on a dating site. He lived in one place, I lived in another, but we started talking and he said he wanted to meet up. And so we had set up some time to meet up. Long story short, he never showed. And we continued to talk. We continued to have FaceTimes, phone calls. It was a really big conflict in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But we were able to work through that. He was apologetic. We just said we were going to slow it down. He was coming out of a marriage when I met him. And so there was obviously just a lot going on with the ending of a marriage, and there's a child involved. So there's a lot of different dynamics. But we stopped talking back in the fall.
Okay.
And so we stopped.
You in the fall, October, September?
Yeah, around that September, October timeframe. So obviously, when I look back on it, it was self-sabotage. So things started going really well, and we were to the point where we were thinking about meeting again face-to-face. Well, not again, but setting up some time to meet again face-to-face.
Yeah.
And we were talking, the texting and everything was there. The FaceTimes, I mean, all the different things that had been there. So he wasn't a catfish. I was able to see who he is. And he right. He ended up calling me a liar.
What?
Yeah. So there was a situation where, and I think I told you, well, maybe I didn't. He at sometimes would suggest that I date other people. And he would say that, he would encourage me to date other people because, quote unquote, he's not able to give me the time and he's not necessarily in the space of being ready. And so he wanted me to just make sure I was dating other people. And I had to clarify with him that that's my choice if I want to date other people.
Mhm.
I'm totally open to dating other people. Like, we weren't in anything exclusive.
I'm about to say, I felt like that should have been something. Yeah, if we were exclusive, then that would be off the table, but we're not.
We're not. So, yeah, I mean, I was totally open. Well, he suggested I date my trainer.
He was giving you suggestions? Oh, God.
And I told him very clearly, I don't like that. I'm not interested in my trainer. I don't like that you do that. And I think
I was about to
that's...
say, but did you ever say to him, oh, my trainer's cute, or...
So that's where he thinks I'm a liar. So somewhere along the way, I must have told him that I used to have a crush on my trainer before I knew he was my trainer.
Oh, okay.
So I started going to church, saw this guy. He was handsome. I started seeing him with a woman. I immediately realized he was in a relationship. And I left it alone. Well, I saw him at the gym. I ended up seeing that he was a trainer. And so then I went ahead and started working with him as a trainer. And so by the time, that I started working with him as a trainer, there was no attraction. There's still not any attraction on my behalf. It's not that he's uglier, but I'm just not attracted to him. He's married now to that woman and all these different things. So, and I consider him a friend. He's been my trainer that long. And so he said, well, you said he was cute in the past. And so but now you're saying you're not attracted to him. You're a liar. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a super big trigger for me because I'm very ethical. I'm very truthful. I'm very transparent. I didn't lie. I'm not attracted to him now. When I secured his services as a trainer, I wasn't attracted to him. If you know me, you know that I wouldn't do that. That would be uncomfortable for me just because you're in a vulnerable position when you're training. I'm a BBW. And so going to the gym and being is challenging for me. And so it just really threw me off, but he was really adamant about it. And he just decided we should just be friends.
And this was back in the fall.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so we no longer talk. And that it ended just that way. It ended horribly.
Because what was your response to him when he said this to you?
I was really confused. And I said, no, I mean, I'm not attracted to him now, right? And I wasn't attracted to him as my trainer. He was somebody that I saw from afar years ago. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this happened in the span of a year. We go to church, and that's how I saw this guy. And no, I mean, he has a woman. I just don't move like that. Not to say you can't admire somebody who's in a relationship. You can.
But some people, unlike, they don't have the Portia spirit. When they see someone, they find that they're in a relationship, they're automatically like, oh, never mind. Now you're ugly to me.
Right. That's exactly.
Some people don't have the Portia Delilah spirit.
They don't. And I don't. And it's like, also when I found out he had 11 kids.
Oh, shut up. That part, never mind. That's what got you. That's what...
But no, I mean, legitimately, in all seriousness, but by the time he was my trainer, it was cool. And then as we've progressed, he's really my trainer. He's my friend. He's like the brother I didn't want. And so for him to say I'm a liar for that reason, and I pointed out, like, this is self-sabotage. You're just saying this because you don't want to do the hard work. You don't want to try and work through these kind of conflicts, and you really need to work on your emotional intelligence. Like, you are academically in a good place, but emotionally you're acting like a child, because I really didn't do that on purpose. There's no confusion for me. But no.
I'm sorry. I feel like the minute someone you're talking to, dating, starts suggesting that you date other people, that's a red flag. That's a major red flag. First of all, they're probably dating other people. They're no longer interested in you, because if a man, specifically men, if a man is interested in you, signed, sealed, delivered, he's not telling you to go be with anybody else.
No. No
matter
and
what.
That's the kind of conversation we had too. Like, I pointed that out. I mean, I've been divorced now since 2016, and he was just somebody that intellectually I connected with. I think it is hard when you are an intellect and you do also have this high emotional IQ, and I do, and awareness to find somebody at that intellectual level. And so he and I just connected that way. But just because he's smart doesn't mean that he has the ability to be good in a relationship.
Yep.
And it just, when I would point out these things, it would be just not being able to fully flush out the conversation. But I'm glad we are not talking. It was hurtful to be called a liar. It was hurtful because I really did put some time there and some belief, and I was there for him during some very difficult times. And I just didn't expect for him to. It really felt mean spirited the way that he ended everything. So it was just hurtful. But no, we're not talking. I'm in a good space now.
I think he felt like he needed to do that. I think he wanted to break things off with you, and that probably was the only way that he could do it. But it goes back to, and I probably said this back when you brought this originally to us during one of our dating lives, is that when people show you who they are that first time, he's the perfect example of that Dr. Maya Angelou quote. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Because look, it took months later, but he showed you again who he is. The minute he didn't show up for that date, and you guys had already been talking for months before that first date?
Yeah.
And he didn't show up, that was your sign.
That was my sign. And I think just learning about myself and how I compromise these things that I know about myself, and I'm always the one kind of taking the back seat because I care so much about someone else's feelings, but having to continue practicing and putting in the forefront, my feelings are just as important.
Yeah.
And to your point, when you do see these signs, just back out. But I think it was just a learning lesson that even though I had done a lot of work since my divorce, that was still an area of growth and opportunity for me to not be seeking that connection. You can have chemistry and don't need to be with somebody.
Yeah.
And so it was some things that I learned. I'm glad that it didn't get any further because I could have been attached in a different way to him, and it would have just made it worse. So I'm no longer in the situation. I just wanted to tell you, I'm okay. I haven't met anyone since, but
you've been trying though. For those that because we talk astrological signs. For those that are just joining us, we're talking to Jocelyn, who's a Pisces. And it's so funny because I'm talking to one of my friends is telling me about one of their friends as a Pisces. You guys are lovers. You want to be in love.
Yeah.
What are you doing now currently, though, because I know you want to be in a relationship. We all want to be in a relationship. We all want love. We all want companionship.
Yeah.
What are you doing now, though, to make an effort in doing that?
I'm not doing anything. There is another guy at the gym that I think is cute.
Okay.
But he's a little bit different than what I go for, which could be a plus. However, he is. First of all, he's of a lighter complexion, and he has these.
Like light bright.
I don't know about light brights, and he's got really pretty eyes. But he does smoke of the ganja.
Oh.
Right.
I'm kind of that way too. Someone said whitey man. No, I don't think it's white. He's just light skin, right?
Yeah, he's light. And I'm getting ready to be 46. I'm okay with that. He is 38.
Oh.
And so it's not bad, but so I think he's cute. I don't know if I think maybe we could have a friendship. I don't necessarily want to.
But why friendship and not something more? Has he shown interest?
He gives me hugs, which, again, I'm not good at that. Like I married my high school sweetheart. So this is not an area of like strength for me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But he does give me hugs. And I think he, when he sees me, he seeks me out to give me a front facing hug, which I think is key.
Oh.
But he hasn't asked me out. He hasn't asked for my number. He just makes sure he speaks to me. Okay. And so, we just speak. I asked about his son. He asked about mine. That's it. So nothing.
You know what it is, Jocelyn? And I'm not telling you to ask him out. I think you need to first resolve in your head, I'm open to it. I'm open to the idea of dating him. I'm not going to rule out, oh, he's too light bright. I don't like his pretty ass. He's too young. You notice how you pointed out all those negatives?
Yes.
Instead of telling us the positives. He sounds like he's very pleasant.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some positive things about this man first?
Well, first of all, he's handsome. Which that's
Okay, so you do like a light bright. You just didn't realize you like a light bright.
Let's move on. All right. Before we move on, though, today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Factor. You know I love me some Factor. I recently just got some Factor meals. There are a lot of meal services out there, but Factor for me, there's just really great options, so many different options, especially as someone that doesn't love to cook or someone that's just very busy. This is your opportunity to have quality meals built for you that you can get in like 2-3 minutes. So cold days, big goals, no time to cook. Factor makes healthy, eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or cooking. So you're getting quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, or no refined seed oils. Okay, so you're getting quality meals that fit your goals and schedule, healthier eating, calorie management, more protein. 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, that's something I'm always looking for, especially working out. Calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, which we've been talking about recently here on the channel as well, and ready to eat salads. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. Of course, I've gotten you a discount over at Factor. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for 1 year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, vary by plan. 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription lasts. Okay, more details on Factor will be available in the description. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's Friday Live. All right.
He's handsome. And I do think he is pleasant, but I'm cautious because I always tend to find people. I can see his eyes; they look sad. So it's like, oh,
yeah, Pisces, you're intuitive,
right? And so it's like, oh, if I do this, and he's a Cancer, and my husband was a Cancer, and I can't do another round. Thank you. I can't do another round with a Cancer man.
But you're a Pisces, so Cancer and Pisces do go really well together. But remember, Jocelyn, one of the things you probably learned here in our conversations and when Tarot's been on and things like that, it's not just that sun sign. Yeah. So your Cancer ex-husband probably had a very different moon and rising and other patterns to his birth chart that might be completely different to this particular man. But you notice how, again, I'm asking you positives about this man and we back at the negative.
But he is pleasant. It does seem like he's a good father. He has a 16-year-old son. He's involved with him. Okay. I think it's good that he goes to the gym, as many days as he does. That it shows that he takes care of his body. He has a nice-looking physique. Okay. So, I mean, there definitely are some positives. And, yes, he's pleasant, well-spoken, laid back. A lot of people speak to him. So, yeah, there's definitely some positives there.
Yeah. And for all you people in chat with the Cancer men, like I said, it's not just about the sun sign. It's about knowing other parts. So I would never rule out, I don't love a Cancer man. Would I rule out a Cancer man if a Cancer man came at me? No, I get to know them. I'm like, oh, let me see you. And then, on the second date, let me get your birth time.
You start reading it. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I think, and again, I think people are saying too, just not like, he may not be interested in, and I like to be pursued. That's the other part. Even Leo, even though he was just off, what got me was his pursuit. He was very intentional in the beginning, and I realized that's something that matters. And so if he's not showing any interest, then I don't want to be rejected.
You underestimate the energy that you're putting out there. Because the energy based off, and now I think if you shift your attention, your energy, be like, you know what? I kind of think he is not a good guy. Start focusing on the positives that you think of this person.
Okay.
I'm not telling you to go ask him out. You don't have to ask him out, but I think you need to shift how you view him because you'd be surprised. He's a Cancer man. He's also intuitive. He's probably sensing she probably doesn't like me.
Okay.
So I'm not going to ask her out. So shift how you view him and actually consciously say it in your head. Look at him when he's hugging, you're talking to him like, you know what? He really is good looking. He's really genuine. He remembered this or he remembered that. He's a really nice guy. Start saying that in your head. I'm not saying that you need to say that to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Say it in your head because you'd be surprised the energy of what you're thinking is putting that out there to the point where people are like, oh, I don't want to go around her. She's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just be conscious of shifting. Because remember, when we first started this conversation, you already ruled him out. He's like, he's a nice guy, but he too light-skinned. Yeah, he a Cancer.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I'm in a good place. I'm not, dealing with the residuals of the Leo guy. And
yeah,
I'm definitely open.
At least he's out of there. And hopefully he's blocked on your phone. Because, Mercury retrograde is coming into effect in a week or so. And that's when people from your past like to
start coming back. Okay, well, I'll definitely block him.
To block him. But I also think, again, not focusing on the guy at the gym, but doing other things outside of that. I know you said you tried the dating apps before. Yeah, and to me, it's a lot of hypersexual men. Oh, Lord. And then, or if they're not hypersexual, then they give you the WYD, and just spell it out. I was like, wait, she's talking about like the initials. I'm like, okay. Yeah, conversation and the ability to initiate and engage is important to me, and it's attractive to me. And if you can't even take the time to type out a sentence, I don't know how that's going to work, but I am on there. I got back on there. Okay. Yeah, it definitely open. I respond back. I say, hey. Yes, I do. I have done that. Just haven't come across anybody yet. But yeah, I definitely do. I think put myself out there. Based on what we just said about your perspective, I think you should go over your profile again to make sure whatever you're putting on there, including the pictures, really represent the positive sides of you. Okay. So even the language that you use in your dating profile, I haven't seen your dating profile, but if I'm to assume anything, I think you need to, when you do it, because sometimes people put their dating profile up very much like they say, don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. When you're doing your dating profile, do it in a space when you're in a good mood and focus on the language that you use in that dating profile from that space. Oh, okay. Including some of your favorite pictures and things like that. And also make sure your pictures are like good pictures, meaning no sunglasses, no mask, not side profile. You want people to see you as you see yourself. And I just got a new wig, Kemp. So yes. Okay, wig. I'm about to put... Yes, wig. That's why I'm not on camera because I was trying on my new wig. Just my hair's messed up. You know I'm not a wignista. Me either. I have natural hair. Just been wearing natural, so it'll be different to wear a wig. But I just wanted to try something different for my birthday. Pull pictures and put it up on your profile. Yes. So I appreciate the time. I hope I didn't take up too much, and I'll keep you posted. I'll keep the community posted, and I appreciate the chat, and I just appreciate the community. So thank you, and I hope you have a great, relaxing day tomorrow. You too. Remember tomorrow. You should be doing something for yourself. Oh, yeah. My mani-pedi was scheduled. Okay. Getting my nails done, all the things. So, yeah. Well, make sure when you're doing that, too, be conscious of, I'm treating myself. Really enjoy it. I think sometimes people just do it because, I'm doing this. I got to get this done. It really bask in it as you're having it happen. And if they offer you the massage, get the massage. Okay. I got my massage scheduled for my birthday. So, I got my dinners planned. I got my outfits. I have choices. So I have been intentional, and that's what I typically do for my birthday. So good. I'm excited about it. Well, happy early birthday, but I'm sure we'll see you before then. You know you will, Kemp. You can't get rid of me. Have a good night. I'm just looking forward to when you call in. You're like, I found him.
Hey,
I won't put pressure on you. I just
manifest that. Yes, I
yes,
found
come on
him.
now. So I look forward to it. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jocelyn.
Kent. Bye.
Have a good night. All right. Shout out to Jocelyn, guys. You're just joining us. This is our special Valentine's Day dating live. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to share us your thoughts and opinions. You'll also be able to hear this on the Kempire podcast. Everyone keep liking the video. I did drop the call-in link for the general audience. I'll drop it again. We do have a few people backstage that want to come on up. So I'm going to bring up Noda Queen. Noda Queen.
Hey, Kempire.
You going to tell us your ex's business?
Yes. And the funny thing is, it all started when I was 15. That's the funny part. Yeah. What? Yeah, so he was my high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, like, my freshman year, that summer before. Hold up, I got to go somewhere private. I'm at work.
Oh, not you at work calling us. I appreciate that. Look, Ramel says, OMG, I would hop on, but I'm at work. No, the queen is at work too. She hopped on.
There we go. Okay.
Go to a closet. Look, go to a closet. Call on in.
So he was my high school sweetheart. And he was, when I was a freshman, he was a junior. So, of course, I went to his junior prom freshman year. And then his senior year came along. For senior prom, it got a little shaky because I kept hearing different stories. He told me, like, they had different prom packages and he got the wrong one and he couldn't buy the one for 2 tickets. He could only get, right. But I was also young and dumb.
I mean, high school.
Yeah. And then my mom told me that his mom said that he couldn't afford to get me a dress, which also didn't make sense because I know how to make a dress. I made my own prom dress. Yeah. So all that happened, but like it was all weird. He went to prom alone, essentially. And I saw like the pictures and the videos or whatever, but I didn't think much of it and left it alone. We were together for 5 years, mind you. So fast forward, post high school. And the crazy thing about this story is my ex taught me that liking Jamal Bryant is a red flag because he was an aspiring pastor. I think he is right now. Yeah. And he looked up to Jamal Bryant a lot. Yeah. That's part of why we ended up breaking up because I was not ready to be no first lady. It was just not my ministry. Yeah. Wow. Part of why we broke up. But let's get into why we broke up. Mm-hmm. So this is after we both out of high school. I'm going to a cookout at his family's house, but it's like his extended family. So I've never met them before, but we're waiting because his grandmother was going to come and pick us up. So I'm in his room. Like I said, he's a minister. So he has a specific dresser that has all his like ministry books and stuff like that. So I'm going through that dresser, not to like look for anything. I'm just going through it, looking at all this stuff. Mind you, he's in the room with me, watching me. And I'm like asking him about stuff or whatever. So I see a prom keychain picture face down. And mind you, at this point, we've been to 3 proms together. So I flip it over and I'm thinking it has to be us. Of course, right? I flip it over. It is him and his best friend from high school. Not only is he wearing the same outfit he wore to prom, she is matching him. So, of course, I asked him about it. And he's like, oh, we just took a picture. It's no big deal. And I'm like, you really want me to believe y'all got up in the hallway in formal wear and took a picture? Really? So he's trying to say that. So I'm mad. I'm furious. I'm furious the whole ride.
What's the time difference between this moment and that prom?
So his prom was when I was in like 10th grade. Okay. And this moment was probably right after I graduated high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is 2 years later almost.
Yeah. So like, yeah. And that's part of like, because I was texting my best friend about it. And it would help because he was trying to text me because we were riding in the car with his grandma and his mom, but I was ignoring his text, so he couldn't tell because I was texting my best friend. I like that part. But she was like, it was a long time ago. And I'm like, but he just lied to my face right now. So we had the whole thing. I went to his family's house. I'm furious. And like, of course I speak or whatever, but I'm just not engaged. And they're asking him like, what's going on with her? Like, she looks like upset. So he took me outside and like, we argued about it or whatever. And his story still didn't make sense. He was like, we were just at the prom and she just asked me to be in her picture. And I'm like, that still doesn't make sense. Because based on the type of relationship we had, that's something he would have told me flat out. that night. So I'm like, that still doesn't make sense. So at that point, I just couldn't trust him anymore. So we stayed together a few months after that. But between like him potentially getting a church soon and then I couldn't trust him, I was like, this isn't going to work out. So we broke up. So then probably a few months after we break up, I hear he has a new girlfriend. Mind you, at this point, I also left that part out. He goes to my church now. He's the youth pastor at my church now. Yeah.
Your current church.
Yes, my church. And mind you, he came to my church. That was mine.
Did he know
that church camp? Huh?
He knew that that's your church?
Yeah. That's like when we first met, we met at church camp.
Oh.
His grandmother had a church that he went to, but then he started going to my church and working at my church. So, yeah. So I didn't really go to church that much. That was a whole separate thing, not because of him. But I stopped going to church as often. And then I came to church like one day and they were like, oh, he got a new girlfriend. He got a new girlfriend. I'm like, that's good.
You know how church is. Just spilling the tea.
She was at church. I didn't even realize it. And they kept saying his girlfriend looks like you. And I'm like, y'all are being messy. That girl looks a lot like me.
She does look like you.
It was scary. They showed me her picture on Instagram. It was scary. And it was so scary to the point I was like, nah, I don't see it. I was like,
you didn't want to see it.
I was like, I don't see it. And then it gets worse because this new girl, follow me, is my best friend's baby father's cousin. Yes.
Okay, I followed you.
Yes. So she is, I still see her to this day for that reason. Yeah.
Are they still together?
No, no. That's the fun part. That happened. And then he made like a weird anniversary post for their first anniversary. But he was like, oh, I've been hurt in my past and blah, blah, blah. So I had to cuss him out over that because I'm like, why are you making... Yes. I'm like, why are you making your anniversary post with her about me? And then he's like, oh, it's not about you. We were together for 5 years. We were high school sweetheart. You're not talking about somebody in middle school. Like, be serious. So I had to cuss him out over that. And then we stopped talking. But then they broke up somewhere in that. And I heard he got some other girl pregnant.
Not the youth pastor.
Yes. That's Jamal Bryant is his idol.
Well.
So he got this girl pregnant, but her dad is a pastor and also very like conservative. So you have my daughter pregnant, you need to marry her. He didn't want to marry her. So yeah. So like time passed, the child came, they were like, you have to marry her. And he's like, no. So it got to the point where he's like, if you marry her, I'll help you get this church. That's all he's ever wanted. So because of that, he married her. So he could be the pastor at this church.
What?
Yes. Yes. So then, yes.
That's crazy.
That's why I don't have problems with his other ex that looks like me now because we bond over the fact that our ex had an arranged marriage. It's kind of funny.
Wow.
So yeah, he marries her. They have another kid. They're together for a little bit. And then probably like a year and a half ago, he messages me on Facebook. And I'm just like, you know what? It's so much time has passed. We can be cordial. So I messaged him back and like, it's like, hey, how you doing? How you been? What's going on with you? And mind you, he doesn't know I know this information. So he doesn't even know that I know he has a wife and kids. But when I asked him like, how's your family? He's like, oh yeah, my mom's good. And then it ends there.
Talk about the kids?
He doesn't say anything about anybody.
This is why I keep telling y'all going to these churches. You hear the pastor?
Uh-huh. He doesn't say nothing about nobody. And I'm like, that's so
good.
Strange.
Nothing about, at the time he was still married or no?
Yes.
Nothing about the wife and kids?
Nothing about them at all. So I'm like, that's so strange. And then I continue the conversation to see if he's going to bring it up. He doesn't. And then he messages me again like a couple weeks later, and that I just ignored him because I'm like, you're playing games and I don't know what games you're playing, but I don't want to be a part of it.
Mm-mm.
So then I'm scrolling on Facebook like a few months ago, probably this past fall, and I see a post from one of his friends that I still followed. That, mind you, we were really close when me and him were together. We like did dinner parties and stuff, and she's posting that she's engaged. And I'm like, okay. And then when she had like a video, and the video icon it was the back of the guy's head. So I watched the video. It's my ex, Kempire.
Wait,
Exactly. That's how I felt.
with the friend, the mutual friend that you guys had?
Yes. It's my ex proposing to her. And I'm like, he had a wife. He had a family. What happened to them?
That was my question.
So.
I mean, it was arranged, but. Whatever.
Right. But because I knew he had a wife, I knew recently because I told one of my work friends about this, and she's the type, she likes to go stalk people on Facebook. So she was like, oh, I'm going to go look everybody up right now. And this was only like a few months before I saw that post. So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. He was just posting his wife and kids a few months ago, and now he's getting engaged to somebody. So I asked my mom about it because she's still in contact with him.
Oh,
that's
really?
a whole nother. Yes.
Your mother is still in contact with your ex-boyfriend from
Yeah. My mom has a boundaries problem. That's a separate thing. But yeah, she's still in contact with him. Part of it is because she wants to be nosy, and I can't say too much because I like getting the mess too.
You know what? Y'all are both the problem.
Yes. Oh no, Kempire.
What's your sign?
Skip the part, huh? I'm Gemini.
Of course, domestic. Go ahead. What part did you skip?
I skipped the part. Okay, so we gotta rewind back before he got married, right? Before the wife and kids or whatever. So, like I said, he's the youth pastor at my church, and so one day they're hitting me up. Mind you, I haven't been to church in a long time. They're hitting me up like, "Do you know him to be a liar?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, has he lied about weird things before? And I'm like, well, yeah, the prom thing and like other small stuff. But so they're telling me like his birthday and his anniversary as the youth pastor is coming up in the church. So he's going to college at this point, and he's like, I'm an alpha. So he has all the alpha gear on, the hats, everything, posting online about being an alpha and all this other stuff. So they're like, so we wanted to reach out to the alpha chapter at his school and have them come to the church and surprise him. And then so when our pastor reached out to them, they sent back a flyer with his face on it that said, this man is not an alpha. He is an imposter. So he has somehow, right.
What in the Danish deception is going on? This needs to be multiple chapters on TikTok.
Oh my God. Because I had thought about it, but like, it's too local.
It's everybody would know.
Yes. I don't have a lot of exes, so yeah. And his story is very unique. So yeah, apparently he's got all this alpha paraphernalia somehow and has just been lying about, and he's going to school in front of the alphas wearing their hats and jackets. Right. So these flyers were put up all over his school saying that he was a fraud. And then that's what they were asking me. They were like, do you even think he graduated? Because he went to community college first. They was like, do you even think he graduated there? And I'm like, I don't know, because I remember when he told me he graduated, I'm like, you don't want to go to graduation? He's like, nah, it's not that serious. Like, we should go to graduation. Like, I know your mom would like that. I would like that. He was very resistant to going to his graduation. So we've never gotten any confirmation about that. But he ended up at this other school, which is a university. So maybe, but it was just, he does weird stuff like that.
And he looked up to Pastor Jamal Bryant. It makes more sense.
Yes. So anyway, back to him proposing to this girl, and his new wife was
a mutual friend of y'all.
Yes.
Wow.
So, his new wife was like months ago. And so I'm like, what happened? My mom tells me that when they got married, he never sent the marriage license in. So their marriage was never real. And that devastated that girl. He wasted
the father. Because the father was the one who helped him get to church.
Yeah, he got fired from that church.
Don't be surprised we see one of these ladies and him on a Real Housewives in the future.
At this point, because his new wife or his new fiance, she's very accomplished, so she might be able to. But yeah, so he got fired from that church, and then He never submitted the marriage license for his new wife, and now he's
How long were they married for? Married, in quotes.
like 2.5, 3 years.
And they had 2 kids together?
Mm-hmm.
And he never sent in the marriage license?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
and you just found this out. You found out he got engaged to your mutual friend. You said back in the fall?
Yeah.
And they haven't got married yet?
No, not that I know of. I haven't been on Facebook in a while, but...
And
yeah.
you're not friends, obviously you're probably not friends with this mutual friend anymore.
No, we haven't talked in a long time, so, but
not apparently with your ex, they've been in contact.
Right. To be fair, she was his friend first.
Yeah, but still he was with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much she knew about that relationship.
She has to know. Based on their shit when we were together, she has to know. There's no way she doesn't. Because all this stuff spreads around. Like when that Alpha thing happened with him, they literally put a post up on the United Methodist Church website about guiding our youth with honesty. And it was bad. And that's part of why he married that girl, because that Alpha situation got out. So that was really the only way he was going to be able to get a church.
So he'd been a scammer and she decided to marry this or get engaged to this man despite knowing all this?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
So you really did dodge a bullet.
Yes. Like the Matrix. Because we were really locked in. We were like talking about marriage and everything. Like that was the plan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Anything else that you wanted to wow us with this evening?
No, I think that's it. I guess I better get back to work, you know.
Thank you, Nota Queen. That is a detail. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. What? That's crazy, y'all. Guys, if you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. This is our special Valentine's Day Dating Live, brought to you by our friends over at Factor.
So I get it. You did not complete your New Year resolution. That's okay. It's not too late. You can start today, and I have the best option for you. You don't have to cook your meals yourself. You can rely on Factor. Factor is the sponsor of today's Live, and I'm so excited because we've been working with Factor for a very long time. I just had some of my meals, and I've tried so many different meal services over the years, and this is one that has stuck for me because at the end of the day, you want food that works for your lifestyle, maybe protein, maybe vegan, or maybe you're on a GLP-1. Factor has something for everyone. And they have different types of meals from breakfast to lunch and dinner and snacks. Cold days, big goals, no time to cook. Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or cooking. They have quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. That's the most important thing for me, is that you can rely on whatever you're eating with Factor. You know that's going to be quality and not something loaded with things that are not good for you. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. They have rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious through winter. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support, and ready-to-eat salads. And of course, I always get you a deal. So head to factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for 1 year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan. 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription lasts. Again, more details on Factor will be available in the description.
Thanks to Factor for sponsoring tonight's Dating Live. Miss E said, can we find out what his sign is? Trash. His sign is trash. The great goddess said his sign was demon. Nota Queen, if you're still watching, let us know in the chat what his astrological sign was. That was a juicy story. I just never know what this live is going to turn out to be, but I appreciate you all calling in and sharing your personal business. Elijah, thank you so much for the super chat, sending love. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, we have a few people backstage. Just when I think I'm going to be here by my lonesome, y'all are all here. Thank you. How many likes do we have? If you guys can let me know in the chat. Izzy's backstage. We're going to bring Izzy up. Izzy manifested love.
I did. I'm going to apologize if you hear a little person in the background. We're doing science fair. What'd you say?
Did you manifest that too?
I don't, not specifically. I mean, I wanted it. And so I guess I did because we're ready to have kids, we had them pretty quickly after we decided.
How many kids do you have?
So I have an 8-year-old son and I have a 15-year-old daughter, my bonus baby. So when I manifested my husband, I got a daughter along with it.
You know what Bose would say when she said on Beverly Hills.
See, I don't watch Beverly Hills, so
she was very hateful when Amanda referred to her husband's children as her own. She was like, "Oh, I would never say something like that." It's a whole other conversation. Anyway, Izzy, tell us how you manifested.
No. Yes, well, I will, but I will actually say I listened to one of your lives when you went over that, and I thought that was disgusting. I call my bonus baby my baby all the time. I think it's completely normal, and I actually grew up in a big blended family, and there's no half, no step. You know, we're all siblings, and we love each other, and so I don't think there's anything strange about that. So Bose needs to get her act together.
Yeah, but this is not about Bose. This is about you manifesting the love of your life.
Yeah. Thank you. Look, and I'm like, I'm trying to get myself together. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. End of the week crazy. But, I'll just say that I didn't realize when I put that message in the chat that it actually has a Valentine's Day nexus because at the time I had gotten out of a 6.5-year, relationship with someone, who wasn't right for me, going on and off, and, back and forth for years. What, Papa? How many years were? Sorry, this is this is real life.
I know, real life. It's the evening. It's not like we're, daytime hours right now.
Exactly. So I'm, and my husband is currently taking our daughter to dance lessons. So I'm single mom at the moment.
You manifested an active father.
Exactly. Very fortunate for that. So I know, buddy, 1 second. Okay. So we basically, actually give me a moment. I'll finish up with him and then I'll come back.
Okay. That's the life of a mom. Y'all know, but we have quite a few people backstage. So I wanted to give her a moment so she can, because I'm sure he'll be in bed. So let's give him a moment. Janelle's backstage. Janelle, you're muted. Uh-oh. Janelle. Did Janelle step away? She probably stepped away.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Hi, bonjour. How are you, my dear?
Oh, well, how are you?
Good. I was listening to Izzy's story and I was in the kitchen, so I stepped away and then I was like, oh, wait, hold up. Let me get back. Hold up. I'm here. Hello. Okay. Let me tell you something. I was not going to call in, but I'm here on Valentine's Day. And I was going to sit here and just listen to everyone's stories because these men in these streets can be trash. And yes, whoever said his sign was demon, 100% on point. I appreciate that person. That whoever wrote that, trademark it because that's thetruth.com. Anyways, but there was something that Jaceline was talking about, how she was meeting these dudes in the gym and stuff like that, and she was like, and it was like a Pisces, and the trainer was a Pisces, if I'm correct.
No. She's a Pisces. I forgot.
Oh, okay.
What his sign was? I can't remember. I don't think.
Cancer. He was a Cancer.
The guy that the light skinned one.
Yes, the light bright. The light bright was a Cancer. It made me think about my own astrological journey in terms of love, because I've been doing a lot of soul searching over the last 2-3 years, which makes sense because Saturn just left Pisces. So as a Sagittarius sun, Aries rising, Aries moon, I was going through it, and I was like, and I didn't know why. And because Pisces is a very emotional sign. This is no hatred towards the Pisces, okay? I'm just saying, y'all are very emotional people, and we felt it. And so, and I was thinking about why I felt like my dating life in New York is not what I would love it to be. And so I was trying to think of like, there's any moments in my life where, it's when it's like, this is when it was popping. And so I've been getting into, I think I mentioned this to you in a members only live about astrocartography.
Yes.
And so I was like, I believe I've also told you that I lived in Ghana for 6 months.
Yes.
And so I was like, let me see what my astrocartography is saying for Ghana. It all made sense. And it makes sense why I had ex-boyfriends from that time who were still hitting me up until as recent as last year, at the end of last year.
Wow.
Because, for people who don't know what astrocartography is, because it's basically, in layman's terms, it's called location astrology. So essentially, it's taking your natal birth chart and placing it in another location. There's like a whole science behind it. There's websites that will do it for you because, listen, I may be good at math, but not that good at math, okay? And basically, certain houses get activated wherever you are natally. Some certain signs will stay the same, and certain planets will stay the same in terms of sign, but they'll change houses. And so, here, so like I'm originally from Florida, and I work and live in New York. And so my houses pretty much stay the same. But when I was living in Accra, everything switched over to my 7th house of partnerships, romance, and marriages.
Wow.
And so I highly encourage anyone who's like even mildly interested in astrology, look into astrocartography and like see where, like, if you can't find love where you at, there may be love elsewhere for you. Because like it reminded me a time when I decided to date a Scorpio, and I will never date a Scorpio again. Well, because he thought he was gonna pull one over on me because he was so dumb. Sorry. Okay, because he was like, she young, she don't know better. I'm like, I may not know better, but I ain't dumb. So I was dating this dude for like a month or two, and my friend was like, girl, he ain't it. But I was like, but girl, his best friend is a soccer player, he got money, and he likes you. So I feel like you're getting also a good end of the bargain. He played for not the actual team in the UK, like one of the big teams, but like whatever like the second level is, like JV.
Oh,
I forget what they call it.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know. It's definitely higher than Caroline Stanberry's.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I forgot her husband's name.
Everybody catches strays tonight. I'm sorry. He
catches multiple strays. And so like I met this dude in the club, and like, because that's also another thing. When I was in Ghana, I was warned before by a person who is now a very good friend of mine, who was basically our guide. Because I went there to study abroad there for 6 months, and I was told by her, she goes like, she looked at me and she pointed at me at our info session prior to leaving, and she said, you're gonna have a hard time in Ghana. And I said, why? She goes like, because all the men are gonna want you. I said, you lying. Because no man wanted me in New York. I was batting for zero. I was like, okay. I was like, it's never gonna. I was like, girl, it's not gonna happen. I didn't believe her, whatever. But the moment I got off the plane, dudes were coming out. Like before I even opened my mouth, dudes were like literally, like I'm not even joking. Like as I am walking to customs, men were stopping me, and I was like,
"It's crazy."
I was like, stop it. Lies. I was like, because I thought, no, they don't want me. They just think like, I don't know, like, nah. I was in such disbelief. On our third night, I remember we went to Labadi Beach, because at the time, Labadi Beach is like the bigger beach in Accra.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever see anything for like Dirty December online, a lot of the beach parties are happening at Labadi. Because that's where where the resorts are as well.
That's where we can find Portia.
Child. You know what? I know the clubs that she be going to, and I'm not surprised.
Ooh. That's
all I'm going to say. I know what parts of town she's going to.
I know what you guys are saying in chat, and that's why you're blocked, Kempire.
Well, don't get me blocked. I got to still be nosy. And so on my third night, I remember two dudes fighting over me to dance with me because it was a reggae night on Labadi Beach Wednesday. And this dude came up to me, wanted to dance. I didn't think anything of it. I said yes. And I also was with friends, so I didn't feel like unsafe. Like I was like, oh, if something happens, like I got my friends, they're right here. And another dude was like, no, I'm asking her to dance. And he was like, nah, it's my turn. I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. Calm down.
Third night.
These dudes almost started punching each other until another dude came over and said, don't do this here. And I was like, I walked away because I thought they bugging. Again, still disbelief. I was like, they're lying, they're bugging. Like, I don't know what they're seeing. I mean, I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm an attractive person. But I think living in New York for so long and not having people like going out of the way, like what you were saying earlier, when a man wants you, he'll let you know. And I had not been experiencing that in New York. And I was like, maybe it's just not, New York is just maybe not be the place where I'm going to find love. And that's okay, because I really came here for career. I came here for acting and for writing and to build community. I was not here to like, oh, I'm going to fall in love. Like I had a lot of friends back home in Florida who were like, oh, are you going to be like Carrie Bradshaw and find your Mr. Big? I said, that is a toxic relationship. And no.
A lot of people come to New York thinking that's what you're coming here for.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm coming here for work, but then I'm also going to maybe find my Mr. Big.
No, you don't want to find you a Mr. Big. He isn't. Oh, that could be a whole other conversation for another time.
Especially when you think about who the real man is.
My mom actually was asking me about that because she was like, I heard some things online. What do you know about him? I said, okay, here we go. And she was shocked when I was telling her everything. And she was like, oh, I didn't know this, because she's not looking for stuff like that. She's just watching shows. Like, she's just minding her business. And yes, Ms. Z, yes, some of the guys can be aggressive, and it can be a culture shock because American men, and this is my opinion, and I know people have different experiences everywhere, but American men act real nonchalant.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Jocelyn.
Yeah, they act real nonchalant. They want to act like they're not interested because they want you to chase them. And in Ghana, it was the opposite. And so, like, third night, I got these two dudes like fighting over me. And even when I went like closer to the waves to get away from them, where my friends had moved over to, those two followed me and were still fighting over me. One almost got pushed into the water. I said, it ain't that deep. It really is not that deep, y'all. But I was like, maybe it is. Maybe I am that girl. Gag. But anyway, so like a month later, I met, we're going to name him, I don't know.
Mr.
We're going to name, huh?
Mr. Ranks.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to say Omar. I don't know why Omar came to me. Omar, I was dancing at a club. It was one of the clubs like where the locals went to. When you go to Accra, you may hear this where they say like, oh, you going to the Obruni Club, which is basically like the foreigner club. That's where all the expats are going to. That's where all the basic. Yeah. Well, no, she's not there. No, she got the hookup. No, the Obruni Club is where you're gonna see all the white folks. Let's give it a buck. So no, this is one of the clubs from, this is one of like where all the locals were going to, where they're picky about your clothes, where they're like, no, those flip-flops, those are slippers. No, change your shoes and then come back. Like, it's one of those clubs. He saw me from across the dance floor. He immediately pulled my arm in and we started dancing. And other things proceeded, and things that cannot be said on this live, and and they will be for the memoirs. Okay. And so we started dating, and then he had a best friend who was a soccer player who was born in Ghana but played soccer in the UK and was back in Accra. And so he started dating my friend, and so we were doing a lot of double dates. And so for spring break, I was supposed to go to northern Ghana to go to an elephant reserve. And it was beautiful. I loved the experience. Like sometimes like the pictures will come up on my memories. I'm like, oh my God, such an amazing time. And so the day before I left, I wanted to see him. And I called him, and I heard a woman's voice in the background. And I said, who is that? And he said, oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. Your cousin? What you and your cousin doing? Oh, we watching a movie. We're watching a movie. What movie? You know, a movie. I said, Abby dog, I know he think I'm crazy. I say, no, who is that woman? And she started laughing louder. She goes like, I know she wish she would know. I was like, okay. I was like, you are with another woman. I was heated. I was saying things that again cannot be said on this live.
And you guys were dating how long at this particular point?
A month, maybe a month and a half, give or take. Okay. And so I was heated, and like I started yelling at him. I hung up on him. I was very upset. But one thing I remember was I was trying to cry about it, but I didn't feel any tears come, and that was an indicator for me. Like maybe it wasn't that deep for me either.
Oh, you're Sagittarius. I'm not surprised.
But I was like upset, but not upset. It was really weird. And throughout the
maybe your ego was hurt.
I think my ego was very much hurt. Yes. And so then throughout my spring break, I'm in northern Ghana. I don't have the best service, but like I blocked his number. And so his friend who was dating my friend was calling me on behalf because he was like, no, tell Janelle that, I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, tell Omar he ain't, like, nah. Like, I was like, no. And I was 21. At the end of spring break, I came back to Accra and I agreed to take him back. I don't know. I agreed. I don't know what was wrong with me.
You were 21.
I was 21, and scarcity mindset is real.
And also, when you think about coming from, you were in New York, you said?
Yes.
So coming from where no one was flirting with you, and now you have all of these men flirting with you.
Yes.
You're probably still in that, consciousness of like, but now I finally have the man that I've been wanting.
Right. And so I was like what? I took him back, and so then there was one night he could not go out with me and my friends. And so I had a friend who will say her name is
Shaquita?
No, because she's Hispanic. I was thinking of a Hispanic name. We're gonna say Juanita. I know that's not Hispanic, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, Juanita. So Juanita had a hookup at an Obruni club. And I was like, girl, I'm not trying to go to no Obruni club. But she's like, no. I know the manager. I know the bodyguard. I know the bouncer. That was one thing about me and my friends. Because also I had a nickname when I was living in Ghana that the white girls gave me because they were jealous that I was getting these dudes like left and right, like revolving door, bonjour, hello, that's me. Yo. And so, but I can't say the name because I can't say the name. Anyway, they gave me a name, but let's just say this. I took that name and I reclaimed my time and I said, well, yes, that is who I am and you're jealous. And also part of that title was me and my friends knew all the bouncers, we knew all the managers, we knew all the promoters at all these clubs because like we were those people, okay? We all had personalities. We know we knew what was up. Like even my friend who was my roommate, she became really good friends with like one of the biggest artists in Ghana at the time. And like when I mention his name now to like I always say Ghanaian. I know they say Ghanaian. Like I think they're like they're they can be interchangeable. But if I mention his name to somebody, they're like, yeah, I know him. So like and I was like, oh, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until in the moment. But now years later, I'm like, oh wow. And so like my friend Juanita was like, no, let's go to this club. I got the hookup. I said, he gonna get us into VIP. I was like, okay, whatever. Because I didn't want to go to the Bruni club because this particular club, you would find these like European white boys who didn't know how to dance and who were sweating to death because they weren't used to the heat. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And so we get into VIP and there's this other dude who we will name Patrick. But he was Ghanaian. And so I was like, and Patrick was eyeing me up and down. Now I'm back together with Omar. After Omar cheated on me, I'm back together with his dusty behind. But Patrick is like, what up? I'm like, whatever. And so like, he was like, and it was his birthday. And I was like, oh, happy birthday, Aries. Late March, Aries. So I was just like, oh, well, happy birthday. He was like, yeah, you were my dream woman. Like, you came to wish me happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so, like, he keeps flirting with me. And so I kept thinking, and I don't know what came across me, but I was like, F it. And I just started making out with him on the dance floor. I did not care. I was like, and my friends were like, ah! And I was like, yeah.
Sagittarius.
Yes. And Miss Z, Patrick did not know Omar. I be double checking. I'm like the CIA. I be knowing. Okay? Even in Ghana, I was like, I can figure out who knows people who know people. And so me and him started making out. Good times. Gag. Okay? And so Patrick was like, I want to take you out on a date. I was like, oh my God, T, of course, let's go. And so like, he came by my place like a few days later to take me out on this date. My roommate / friends was home and with her boyfriend, Omar's bestie.
Oh yeah.
And so he reports back, say, yo, your girl was hanging out with another dude. And I was like, I was hoping he didn't say anything, but I was like, whatever. Well, the thing is that maybe I did not end the date with just a kiss. And so, bonjour. You know what? I've told this story to like a whole group of people, and where I was like completely like not I was not censored, and they were like, Janelle. I said, I know, I've been doing a lot. And so like let's just say, because like my friend was like, we're gonna give her the name Mary. And Mary was like, I'm gonna give you the room tonight if you and Patrick want to hang out. And I was like, oh my God, love you, thank you. But I did not realize that her boyfriend had not left.
So the boyfriend heard all what was going on.
Bonjour, yes, amen. So then Patrick and I hung out 3 days straight. So
where was Omar?
I don't know. That wasn't my problem. I wasn't answering his phone calls. I was having fun with Patrick.
See why I can't mess with Sagittarius? But you also were 21.
I was also 21. I would never do that now. I am 36 now. Actually, I don't know. Piss me off and maybe I'll do it.
I'm 36 now. I don't know if I would do that now. Well,
you know what? I know I would not do it because I have a better barometer for red flags than I did when I was 21. So now I can see when I look back at that time, Omar had red flag after red flag. Like he could have wrote the encyclopedia on red flags, and I was not aware of them. And now with age and maturity, I clocked those red flags. We're not dealing with those red flags. It ain't worth it. And trust me, with Omar, a lot of things were below average, and so I definitely would not tolerate that.
Well. Again, You were 21.
I was 21. And so, like, basically, a day after me, like Patrick, I ended things with Patrick because then he wanted to get with my other friend, and I was like, "We're not doing this, Patrick. Goodbye." Like I literally like left him on the street. Bye.
Oh my God.
And so then I went back into our house. We lived on a compound with like 4 houses. And so I went back into, also I lived in house 1, and the catchphrase for our house was from the other houses were, "It's not a party until something breaks in house 1." Because we would put our alcohol bottles in the freezer, and because we were getting so litty, when we would take them out of the freezer, they would slip through our hands and we would break these bottles. And people were like, "Oh, it's time to party. There's something broke in house 1." Mm-hmm. So it's just, that was us. T.
Okay. All right. So I don't know how we ended up at this particular story.
Yeah, and then so basically, okay, so then Omar calls me a day later. He cusses me out. He's upset. Like, "You cheated on me." I said, "You cheated on me first. I don't cheat first. I've never cheated before." But I guess it was the first for everything. Like I was upset. I was crying. And I was like, "How dare you talk to me?" Blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, and we were going back and forth, and he ended things with me. And I was really upset. And I was like in a funk. And my friend was like, and my friend said this in front of her boyfriend, his best friend. "Girl, no, don't you cry over this dude. He is not worth it. He is not worth it." And she goes like, "You're going to find somebody. I believe it. I believe you're going to find someone." 2 days later, I found what I at the time considered the love of my life. And so I was living my best life. But then Omar found out about that. And you know what? To this day, Omar still reaches out to me, but I have him blocked on all social media.
15 years later, he still reaches out?
Mm-hmm. That was the best thing he ever had.
Well, you need to go back to Ghana and go get your Omar.
No, I do not want Omar. Omar can go kick rocks. Omar can go rot in hell.
A mess.
No to the Omar. I see all to say is look up your astrocartography, y'all. See what city you may find love. Because you never know. Exactly. And it was popping off for me in Accra. And maybe if you were part of that members live a few months ago, maybe another city is providing very similar yet more.
Have you looked up? I don't remember if you said this during the members.
I did say the city. The city is more.
No. Did you look up? Is the astrocartography for that city in line for what you're looking for?
Yes, it actually. There is specific. I noticed something weird about the chart with my Venus placement and my descendant line. I was like, "What's that about?" And I remember just thinking, like, I don't understand this part. And so I looked it up. I started researching it. And when I saw what it meant, I literally had a panic attack. Ooh. Because if you are a Sagittarius, again, what you were saying earlier about the rising and moon is very true. Mm-hmm. Like I'm a Sagittarius sun with an Aries rising and an Aries moon. So I'm going to be different from someone who may have like a Libra rising or a Pisces rising.
Or Sagittarius. Ooh! That one.
Now I will tell you as a Sag, run. Run. You want... That they're the people who that makes everyone else think that we are anti-commitment. I love commitment. I am loyal. I am a super loyal person. I'm just not going to settle. There's a difference. I will be loyal to you. I'm a very loyal person to my friends and to my family. I got your back through and through. Like, I will fight for you. But I'm not going to settle for mediocrity because I've dated mediocrity, aka Omar. We're not doing that anymore. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And guess what? I threw away the t-shirt because it doesn't fit anymore. We're not doing this, okay?
I'm sad. Oof.
PSM, we're going to pray for you, okay?
Yes, we are.
We're going to pray for you.
On that note, I have to let you go because we do have a line of people.
Oh, my God. Okay, yes, T. Go look at your astrocartography, y'all. But yes.
Thanks, Janelle. Have a good day. Bye. Oh, bye. All right, we're going to bring Izzy back up. Izzy, are you there?
I am here, and my child is in the shower and getting ready for bed.
We understand life of a mom.
Yes. So I thought I'd call in to tell you how I manifested my husband. So like I was saying, I was in my 20s, I spent about 6.5 years with somebody who I really cared about. We had a lot of, we were very attracted to each other, a lot of passion in our relationship, but, could not keep, his, things to himself. And so I thought, how are you going to, be my husband, lead my household, and you can't control yourself? So it took some time, but I eventually got out of that situation. And, and after going back and forth with somebody for so long, I had some girlfriends who were like, you know what, we should take a Valentine's Day trip to go visit one of our mutual friends who at the time was living in Mexico City. And so we treated ourselves to a little girls trip, flew out to see a girlfriend of ours who was married. And, during the course of the trip, we're out exploring, seeing Mexico City. And we randomly end up back in their apartment, and it was myself, my two friends and my friend's husband, and they decided that I should have a online dating profile. And I was like, what do I look like going on, one of these sites? I don't know. It does, I'm not sure if I'm into that. But they were like, listen, you're single, you should enjoy yourself. This was maybe about 6-7 months after I had broken off that other relationship. And, they were just really encouraging. And so they helped me write my profile. And then, we selected some pictures, and then we showed my friend's husband. So that he was someone who had known me for a long time. And so he actually, from a male perspective, helped me kind of take a look, make sure it sounded like me, made sure, gave me advice about some of the pictures and things like that. So I was like, whatever, what can I lose? I wasn't really expecting anything to come of it. So once I got home, I wouldn't consider myself a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. And, people call me Izzy, but my name is connected to Egypt. And so I have a lot of Egyptian things in my house. And there's a friend had gotten me a little pyramid with the winged Isis symbol on it. And as part of this pyramid, they said, you should, use it to write out your dreams and your wishes. And so I took a little piece of paper once I got home from that trip, and I wrote down like 3 things that I absolutely needed in a partner, and a slightly longer list of things that I wanted. Like, what were my non-negotiables and sort of the things that would be like bonuses. And so I think I wrote down things like, has a career, not just a job, has integrity, and is undeniably into me, because I had gone through so many experiences with cheating. Yeah. So, and then listed out some other things that I really liked, folded up the paper, put it in the pyramid, and, just kind of kept it in my window and didn't really think too much else about it. Well, and I think what I kind of recall is that, as I was kind of getting back into the dating scene, I remember at one point just kind of praying and saying, God help me to find my partner. And when you send them, shine a light on them so I pay attention.
Big news. Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on now, and you can score tons of huge deals. Like Wayfair's best deals since Black Friday. Right now through February 16th, you can score up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Like up to 50% off mattresses with fast and easy shipping straight to your door. Plus amazing flash deals on President's Day. Shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance now through February 16th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Because I know me, and I know that, sometimes the right person will come into your life, but you don't recognize them because they don't look a certain way, or they're not who you're used to. And so,
Sorry. Just Izzy, what's your astrological sign?
So I am a Gemini. Look, I know y'all, I know sometimes y'all be saying things, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, but I'm a Gemini. I think I'm a Libra moon and a Virgo rising.
Okay.
And so, those are just kind of the things that I remember kind of thinking about and, and hoping for myself as I was kind of getting back into the dating scene. And I'd say that trip happened in February. I'd say because it was right around Valentine's Day. I'd say by like the 1st of March, I was kind of checking the profile periodically, but I never reached out to anybody individually until one day this profile popped up, like a 97% match. And I kind of looked at his picture and I was like, oh, I thought he was cute. And what I liked about it is that he had all this stuff on his profile about being a nerd. And, we had a lot of similar interests, liked, Marvel, liked, different, books, it was a very honest profile. Like it was clear that he wasn't kind of putting on airs or trying to be anything other than he wasn't. And so he was the only person who I proactively reached out to. So I sent him a message. It was one sentence. I said, just saying hello from one nerd to another. And that was it. And, so we started chatting back and forth, for a couple weeks. I'd say, probably towards the end of March, we, set a lunch date just to kind of meet and get to know each other. And I thought he was great. I met him. I thought he was fun, but I wasn't sure if it was a love connection. And so, we continued to talk. Life kind of started lifing. I got really busy at work. I had a car accident, nothing serious, but there was just a lot of stuff going on. And so, I just kind of got lax with communicating with him. And he reached back out to me and was like, hey, just checking on you. Hope everything's okay. And I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. I said, I really enjoy talking to you. I'm just not sure if it's, if this is kind of going to go somewhere. And he was like, well, listen, I just really enjoy spending time with you. You're someone who I really just enjoy. And so I'd really like to keep you in my life, whatever that looks like. And so without the pressure of it being something, it allowed us to just kind of spend time with each other, hang out, do, nerdy things like play board games and, go on walks in nature. And it really just allowed us to get to know each other without airs, without sort of the pressure of, of having everything be, some big romantic moment. And, we laugh about it now because he'll tell people, he was like, you friend zone me hard. But, it was his patience and his, just honesty and integrity that really, made it become more. And it was really at that point where I opened up that pyramid and pulled out the things that I really wanted, in a potential partner, the things that I needed, my non-negotiables. He had every single thing on the list that I needed. And I'd say about 85-90% of the things that I wanted. And it was just a real natural evolution. And what I also really liked about him is when I kind of friend zoned him, he said, well, listen, no problem. He was like, but, if you want to ever take this out of the friend zone, it's going to have to be your move. Which I really loved because it meant that he respected me enough to say, hey, that's your boundary. No problem. I'm still interested, but if you wanted to move forward, you'll have to let me know that, give me the green light to proceed. And so,
and pushing up on you when you already told him I'm not interested in you in that way.
Exactly. And so I say, it only took about another month and we, were official and, officially dating. And fast forward, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary in June.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Happy early anniversary. What are you guys going to do for your 10th?
We're going to take a trip. He's planning it. He planned our honeymoon and we went to Bali and Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah. So before we met, he hadn't really traveled, that widely internationally, but I had. And so when, we decided to get married and, we talked about the honeymoon, he was like, well, what about the Caribbean? And I was like, the Caribbean? And I was like, listen, there's nothing wrong with the Caribbean, but I was like, I want to go somewhere I might not be able to get back to. So yeah. So he did a really
our community, Izzy, because we think
yes.
way. We love the Caribbean, from the Caribbean, but just saying.
Exactly. So I wanted to just kind of, broaden my horizons. So, and we had a fantastic time, and he planned that. So he decided to take the lead on planning our 10th anniversary too. And we've got 2 wonderful kids, and we've just really built a fantastic life together. So if I have advice for any of the singles, in the chat, I just say, write down the things that you're looking for, so that when it walks into your life, you can recognize it, because sometimes we get busy, we get caught up, we get, frustrated, and the answer could be staring you right in the face. And so sometimes it takes, a little reminder to, recognize that, hey, maybe this person may not be what I had in my head of what I thought my partner might be, but they may have everything that you're looking for.
Jocelyn, I feel like that story was meant for you. Just saying. But no, I think it's going to touch a lot of people. So I appreciate you calling in. I know you had a very busy night, but we appreciate your story. So
of course, no problem. And actually, my husband and I came to your Valentine's Day show in DC.
Oh my God, I just reposted that photo. That's when I had my chest roll out.
Yes, exactly. What was it, like a maroon suit or something like that?
Yes, I love that suit. That's a boss suit. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did I get to meet you guys?
You did. We did a meet and greet. We have a picture together.
Can you send me the picture again so I can put?
Yeah.
I remember the people that I met. I just can't connect the names and everything like that.
Yeah, and I think we did the meet and greet at the second DC show that you did. So, but also, which email should I send it to?
Just at Kempire Daily at gmail.com.
Okay, will do.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and happy early anniversary.
Thank you, no problem. Have a great weekend, everybody.
You too. We have a great Valentine's Day too. What do you got planned?
Look, he's planning it. We already got flowers. He got flowers for me, our daughter, and my mom.
Oh, what's his astrological sign?
He's an Aquarius.
Oh, 2 air signs. Apparently.
I know.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Thank you so much. You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I love that. We needed that because y'all know it's about to be some mess. It's about to be some mess backstage here. No, we have a couple more callers, guys. You're just joining us. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. As you can see, I'm not in my studio. I'm in the living room of my apartment talking about dating. And we've done this before, so just Google Schmoogle it on YouTube. You can also hear it on the podcast as well. All right, let me just say thank you so much, Foxy, for gifting memberships. We appreciate you. Thank you. So be sure to thank Foxy for the membership she may have gifted you. All right. Kimmy says, I could never call. Why not? I'm dropping a call link just for you. Look, just for you. All right. But we do have people backstage. And it's almost 10 o'clock here in New York. Let me bring up Christina and her beautiful dog. I love that dog. Oh, you're muted. You're still muted. Can I unmute you myself? Hold on. Unmute. Oh, it's not unmuting. Oh, no. Is it because you have the headphones in? Maybe. I still can't hear you. Drop out and call back in. I'll bring you right up.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. There we go.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, how you doing today? I want you to see my face so you can know I'm a real person. She right here. Look, say hi.
Hi, cutie patootie.
She was ignoring me. I had to give her a pepperoni. Sometimes her name is Cookie, and she's very sweet, but she mean sometimes.
Well.
But I wanted to, I'll come on here just talking stuff. And since the last time I talked to you and interacted with you, I started yoga classes.
Oh.
Yeah, and because I like hearing you talk about meditation.
It's on cookie.
Yeah,
all in it.
yeah, right. That's how it is. But I love her. She's my BFF.
Oh.
But I started reading tarot cards.
Okay.
Because I believe that I'm intuitive, right?
Mm-hmm. What's your sign?
And I am a Pisces sun, March 2nd.
Uh-huh.
I'm a
your
Virgo. Yes.
Oh.
I did my birth chart. I read an astrology book. I'm Virgo moon and Virgo rising. Actually, I have Virgo 6 times in my chart.
God bless you. But that's good though for you because your Pisces.
It balances me out. Sometimes when I'm falling in my full delusions, and I'll be like, "Girl, this is stop."
I understand.
But I just wanted to again give you your props for the community that you have and all that jazz. But I did want to say something about the intuition. So maybe about a week or so ago, I was like at therapy and I just felt like this pit in my stomach about my daughter's father coming back. Like since I had separated from him, he wants the power of the relationship or whatever it was. Like once I was no longer under his spell, he just started to being mean. And of course, and I say of course, because most times when you're in committed relationships, from my experience, what I've seen, when they no longer have access to the mother anymore, it's like, I'm done. You know, he took out his anger by being absent and basically abandoned my daughter. And it was hard, you know, with that. I got her into therapy and things like that. And of course, like herpes child, he popped. Right? It's just like, oh.
That analogy, but okay.
Because that's what it is. You know, but he saw her and of course she wants that relationship back. And of course as long as he's not going to hurt her, I'm down for it. But it just made me really think, oh my God, it's something in my body that tells me something is coming and I need to listen to that. That happened before in 2024 when my aunt died. Like that night, I was just like tossing and turning. Like I cleaned my whole house, like from top to bottom.
There's that Virgo in you.
Not, mind you, I grew up with her in a house with her. She did that too. And I didn't, it didn't correlate. So when that happened with my daughter's father last week, I was like, I really got to tap into these psychic abilities.
Yep.
Because there are times where I know things and I'm scared to say it. And it's because of how I grew up, you know, not able to really say how I feel, seeing adults not really be as responsible or having adults depend on me for all things. But when it comes to me having boundaries, that's not okay because I'm a child in a situation, even though I'm almost 50. It's just really
almost
weird.
50.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be 46 in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's not almost 50, but still 46.
Yeah. Look, I did the old math. That is almost 50.
You rounded up.
Because I feel like when I tell people I'm almost 50, you're like, what? Yeah, that's
you really have, but that's the Pisces too.
It's a number.
There's also a very youthful energy about
Absolutely. Like the men that I date now are in their 30s.
Like 30, I would have believed you.
I do allow people to say that. I can get by until I'm on the dance floor and my mega knees give out, you know. You can't really.
Well, you know, like I'm dealing with a little bit of a neck issue right now. So
you know, get your
issues when I was 30, but okay.
You don't need it that much no more.
I don't got a man. I need my neck.
But no, like I used to, like, I think it's the way we've been socialized growing up in that time where it's like you need a man. And I don't know, like, I like the companionship, but I don't want anybody in my house. Like I like to like it's peaceful now. And it sucks sometimes when you see everybody like, oh, I got my Valentine. And it's just like, girl, I do too. Okay.
I get what you're saying, especially as someone that lives on his own, has lived on his own for a while. You do, because I do look at certain people, especially when I'm going through these like dating apps. I'm just like, oh my goodness,
those dating apps.
You just don't like nobody and nothing.
It's a lot of mirages.
Yeah, my thing is, and I'm saying this for myself as well, we did not come back into this life to be alone. We came into this life to commune with each other, not necessarily. You've been
community
for years. Community, very much like what we have here, but also loving, all levels of love. So all of that's important. That's why I always joke with you guys. Oh, I'm gonna have my relationship and things like that. Partially, it's me joking, but it's also like, no, I'm really going to have my relationship. I did not come back into this life to be alone, to entertain y'all. Okay, that was only a part of the story. Okay.
Well, I thank God that you did.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, I certainly feel that way as well. But once I broke up from their relationship, I realized that I didn't know anything about myself. I just poured myself into being a mother, and that was just my full identity. And like I see some of the housewives struggling with that, I've certainly identified with it. And what I did was just figure out what I like. I didn't know what I like. So I took yoga classes. I read textbooks. Like I like reading those. It's a nerd alert. But I started
your brain.
It is. Like I do feel like I have to start sharpening myself now because I am going up the hill. You know what I mean? And I have a teenager and I want to be able to be physically here with her and also relate to her mentally. Like I work in with computers, so I have to be able to protect her cyberly now. Yeah. And it's just like I have like different goals. I started writing. I started a blog, and I just feel fulfilled now. And I would hate for someone to come in and just tear it up.
Well, very much what we were saying to Jasleen, we got to change that language because this is why when people talk about Amanda on Beverly Hills, I hate to bring it back to it, but I think it's relevant. And because to me, it's making like manifestation is this hokey thing, but it's a real thing.
No, it's real.
Every part of your life, even if you are not intentionally doing it, you are manifesting your life. So that language that you just shared, you need to change it up. How about this person could come into your life and only enhance
it.
Your life.
Okay.
In ways that you can't imagine.
Absolutely. I am getting into the habit of speaking positively over my life. I think it came from me not really knowing the language. I just know that this is what I don't want. You understand what I mean? Well, so I do understand that. Absolutely. And with that being said, it's not like I'm not dating. I am open to it, but I don't want myself I found myself in a lot of candy situations because I am highly educated. I have a master's degree, and sometimes I have to downplay myself, or not even downplay myself. Let me say that differently. I have to not really brag on myself as much when I am on dating apps.
Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever do that?
Because it can be dangerous when a man is like jealous of you or tries to.
The man for you.
Exactly. I hear you. I understand that. So that's where I feel like a little bit of the hope is gone because, and I'm going to look into my cartology because I think here, I forgot to mention this. I live in Baltimore. So it's not really that much in this region. Most of the guys that I have dated have been like in the DC region or not here. Okay. And a lot of people, and that's not far. It's like 40 miles away. But if you're from Baltimore and DC is not the same. Okay. Totally different.
DC, so not.
They will. We all say the same thing. It's not the same. Shout out to the girl from Charles County. But I say all that to say, I'm not adverse to it. I'm not like looking for it. But I think once I let the mouse go, I think it'll come. That's all. That's all I mean.
Very much like the advice I gave to Jocelyn. I don't know if you were here when I was giving.
I heard you. I loved her story, by the way.
I want you to implement some of that language into your writing, into your profile, and as you start your day, because it has to start to seep in. Because you have to remember, for many, many years, you were telling yourself other things about who you are, what you want, and what you deserve. So you have to start every single day by feeding yourself the opposite of the things that you actually want to manifest.
You're right.
And then you're going to call us back and be like, I found the one. I'm doing this. I actually
order 2, order 3. I really don't feel. I really don't feel like. No, I really don't feel like I'm like a one woman person.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I get tired of people really fast. I have this, oh my God, I'm in love when I first meet them and stuff. And then I really get to, all of that starts to go away and they do one thing, or maybe they just weren't really a match anyway. And I was just delusional that day. Like it just,
it could be a little bit of that Pisces energy.
I really do feel like I do love. I like relationships. I'm really magnetic. Most of the people that I meet, I keep in my life. I have a close friend that went from my nail tech. She did my nails. It looks so pretty.
I was about to say that your nails were standing out to me. I was like, oh, they're like iridescent.
Amazing. Go to Selfish, guys, in Pikesville.
Okay.
But I can go from that to not really giving a care in the world to just block and forget you forever. And I don't like being like that. I love just being jovial and loving and caring, but I really have been tired of being taken advantage of when it came to that. Yeah. And I do recognize that I have, something in me, a light in me that everybody doesn't deserve. So that's really what it just boils down to. Maybe love isn't here for me in Maryland. Maybe it's not. And that's what I meant to say. Not that I'm just not open to it. It's just that when it comes, it comes. Right now, I'm concentrating on myself. I want to get my writing off the ground. I want to be seen in that arena. I know that I have something to say that people need to hear. So I just want to concentrate on that. I also know that nobody is ever going to go before my daughter, and they have to understand that. And to be honest, a lot of people don't. When I see things like Super Scent, you know who she is? Super Scent. Like when I seen the story about her son and her husband, it just really I just don't understand how women can shift their priority to they can have like a peaceful home with their children and just bring that in here. Like I don't see myself ever having someone move into our home and my daughter not being okay with it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like she know, like I have to make sure that she knows that she's a priority. And it comes from my background. Like my parents were drug addicted. They're still alive. I just say were because that's part of my trauma. But I just don't, like she is first in everything.
Yeah.
Even with her dad. Like it was just like she is first. And I just don't get how people can, I think maybe because I am a Pisces and Virgo, like that stuff is like really, really serious. Like to bring a person into the world, that's a serious thing. Like, and you should not ever put them in danger, psychological danger, physical danger, emotional danger. So I just feel like now that I'm centered, she's centered, we're all Cookies, okay? She might not be that centered. But
you're very centered right now. She's being a very good girl.
Yeah, she quiet. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like I just feel like I don't want anything to rock the boat, and I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. And
I feel like I have to say that to make it clear because there are times when I am, lost in the delusion. Someone's really looking good, or when sun's out, the buns come out. I'm saying all this now because it's cold.
I can't wait for
Catch me in
the
the
Lord.
Look.
If y'all see me half naked on the beach, mind your business.
Mind your business. Okay. Don't forget, we get married when we're 90, okay?
Look, y'all heard that, right?
You told me this when we were in DC at the show. You said that.
90, I might have Alzheimer's.
I'll remember.
I'll remember. Here's the thing: the things that I'm doing for my brain, 90, I'm gonna be sharp as a tack.
As I sip on my strawberry Rita, I don't want to put alcohol on the thing.
Thank you,
but yeah, I just thank you for having time, and thank you for doing this. This is my second year calling in for this. Last year when I called, you had the young lady on. Was she the dating coach? Was that Valentine's Day or was that after?
I don't remember, but it was probably Keisha, because I think Keisha's been the only one that we've had as a guest. But I'm going to bring a matchmaker so that we can pick her brain on stuff. So stay tuned.
Yeah, Keisha was really good. And last year, after we hung up on this, I had met a guy who was real nice. He was a Pisces too, child.
But that might be a match between the two Pisces.
It was hot and heavy. It was, but he just didn't keep to his word. I don't like that. I don't like when you say you're going to tell
y'all about y'all Pisces.
Yeah, I don't like when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. It could be something that's minor as let me give you a call back, or I'm going to do this for you and you don't. Like you have to say what you're going to do and mean it.
That's the Virgo in you.
But what's her name? Jacine, the lady that was talking about the dating apps and stuff. Yeah. And she was saying that the guy that she was talking to kind of like clammed up when it was time for them to meet. They do that a lot. And I think a lot of times they just like to talk and get you on the line and get you all revved up. And I think what I have done, I can give some advice on that. I just cut that down. We're not talking for more than a couple of weeks without meeting or FaceTiming, because that will save you a lot of heartache. I think a lot of times I wouldn't let go of someone because I invested all this time. I did this, I had that. But this lady at yoga told me the other day, and it hit so hard. She said, let it go or get dragged. Ooh. And I was just
let it go or get dragged. That's so true.
In everything.
Let it
go or get dragged. And I was like, I don't want to get dragged. I do the dragging.
Oh! That's also the Virgo in you too. Christina, well, thank you so much for calling in and sharing.
Absolutely. I love you and keep up the good work. I'm going to send you some pictures of Cookie. She hadn't taken a good one since Christmas.
Oh, I love dogs. I think he'll get you one. But that's also helpful when you don't have a relationship too, pets. Just saying.
She keeps me on my toes. And I do love her. She's going to go get groomed tomorrow. Oh. And I'm going to take my daughter to Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. Look, tomorrow is Saturday.
Cheesecake Factory food is delicious.
Look, we're going at lunchtime. Me and her going to go get wild cookies in there getting groomed.
They allow dogs in Cheesecake Factory?
No, Cookie is getting groomed.
Oh.
And drop her off, and we going to go. We use grooming as daycare. She going to be in there all day. We doing everything.
And y'all going to go, Cookie going to smell that food on y'all, and she going to be very upset.
It's not going to be any evidence.
Oh. I can't eat all that food at Cheesecake Factory.
No, I can't either.
I've been taking all that focus home. All right. Now you made me hungry. I will talk to you soon.
All right. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Christina. All right, we have a long line of people backstage. Lord have mercy. Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.